Yeah.
Nobody's saying that we have to be like the Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates of the earth. We're just saying that if you want a financially secure life, you need to make those financially intelligent decisions now. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel Breaking the Silence with your hosts Queenie and
Spencer.
And we're back this week with another subject on finance and investments. Now this topic is always a topic that rubs people up the wrong way, and it's always a difficult conversation. That's why we are bringing it to the literal table. So when it comes to finances, what was your understanding of it growing up?
I think with finances, like growing up, I didn't really know so much about it. I felt like that was mainly just on the basis that I think with age, my parents probably just thought, that okay, I'm not at the age to be talking about money and stuff like that. But I would say that I'll say from the ages of maybe like 7-15, that's when I didn't really know too much about finances. But then as I grew older, past when it came to sixth form time, uni time and stuff like that, that's when I really started to know a bit more about money. And that's when my parents sort of like started teaching us about, me and my sister, about saving and stuff like that. So I think, it was good. I mean, it wasn't really the norm, because I know that a lot of people out there don't really grow up knowing about money. Their parents probably don't teach them enough about money, or just didn't teach them their way of life and money management. But that was it for me realistically. What about you?
No, honestly, and people do have different experiences. Like for me, I don't think I had a proper conversation with my parents or with my mum when it came to things like this. I think it was more or less, I saw her going to work, always grinding, always busy, doing her thing. And I know she was working hard to provide, but I don't think maybe time was made out to have these conversations, probably because I was young, or is that they're not ready yet to have that conversation. So I think most of what I know now is things that I've had to learn growing up and adulting, so to speak. Do you know what I mean?
But I always wonder why parents didn't really teach everything. Because I feel like finances is one of those things that we all need to know about. You know what I'm saying? We all need to know how we manage our money. We all need to know where to put our money into and stuff like that. But knowing along that, we all need to know how to accommodate our lifestyles.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you know that there's a certain type of lifestyle that you also want to live, it doesn't even necessarily need to be a lavish lifestyle. But as well that there's certain things in the future that you want to be able to do. You also need to know just the basics of saving money. You know what I'm saying? The basics of saving. The basics of how to manage your money, in a sense that you don't have to spend all of what you get.
It's all discipline.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, is it that when parents came, if I speak for myself for instance, like that, when parents come from Africa over here, they themselves don't really know too much about finances, and when their lifestyle was pretty much come over work and stuff like that. So maybe they were looking to get into the optimum position of happiness and financial freedom before then they start teaching their children about it. But then I feel that if that is the case, I'm not saying it is the case, but if that was the case, then I think that's the problem with that.
I wish it could have been so different. I think also because some instances, from my understanding growing up as well, a lot of households, a lot of parents expect the schools to teach their kids
about
finances, but we all know that doesn't happen. I don't think I attended a single class that spoke about finances or how to manage your money or none of that. And that's why, like, we all go to YouTube University to learn some of these things, or we learn it through experience. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, I mean, for instance, did you know that 1 in 6 privately schooled young people or youth, whatever, have a finance class, or mandatory finance class, or learn about money, as opposed to 1 in 12 publicly schooled young people learn about money, and they don't even have to attend the class. It's just optional. Do you know what I mean?
So that's what they're doing out here. The private people are learning about money, whilst the people who go to public state school, they don't know jack.
Exactly, and it's mad because the people that should know about money, that need to learn about it, because privately school kids, obviously it's simple mathematics. They come from a family that can afford the private school, so they must be learning at home as well as school. But if the likelihood of you being publicly schooled, in most cases, you're not learning about that at home.
And this is the thing, but I think that's where it all starts. You know what I'm saying? It all starts from the household. You know, if you're teaching your children about finances from a very young age, you're teaching them the essence of saving. You know what I'm saying? You're teaching them the essence of what money actually is. How many people can actually, if you were to ask somebody what is money, how many of them can actually give you a construct definition
of what it is?
It's a medium of exchange. It's a medium of exchange. How many people know that? You know, we know that we use it to pay for things and stuff like that, but do we actually know the meanings behind it?
Exactly.
Why it was created?
How?
You know what I'm saying?
And how we're supposed to live with that. And I think we see money and we objectify it so much. Like, we must have money, otherwise, obviously we need money to survive. But even if you had, like, I give instances to someone where, like, you know, if I gave you £1 million today, what would you do with that money? And some people, I'll buy a car, I'll do this, I'll go on holiday. And it's shot. Now, don't get me wrong, like, if this was me a couple years ago, before I had any knowledge or anything, I would probably say the same thing. But in the world that we live in today, like this 2021, you have that kind of money sitting in your bank account, and you're just gonna let it float away by buying a whole bunch of some things that won't even give you value.
Correct.
Or that depreciate over time, you know, and understanding the difference between assets and liabilities.
Good thing you mentioned that, actually, realistically, because then it's like, what do we classify as an asset and what do we classify as a liability?
Exactly. Which, in fact, me personally, I didn't even know the difference before. Like, I just thought, you know, if you buy a car, it's great, and, you know, you have something that will get you A to B, that therefore it's an essential. Really, it isn't, though, because it loses value over time. But then when you say to someone, oh, well, you know, you can aspire to buy a house in the future or get a mortgage or whatever, they're just like, oh, but it's too long, or it's too much, or it's going to cost too much money, I can never afford it, I'll never be able to get into a position where I can afford to buy a house.
A lot of people in society, they want to make money, but they don't really know how to make money. Which brings us into sort of talking about what investments, how are we using our money? Because I think a lot of us, we know that, okay, if we were to leave our money in the bank, for instance, we're not going to be making anything. Of course, yes, the bank will tell you that if you open up this account annually, you may make, I don't know, 1%, or sometimes you don't even make 1%. You know what I'm saying? But then realistically, then you're thinking, if I drop £100 and I'm only going to make 1% in an entire year, whereas I can go and use that £100, well, not even use the whole entire £100. I could even go and maybe use £20. You know, just to buy something small. It could be anything. Go onto I could go on the Amazon, right? I can go and buy. Let's take an example. I can go and buy an iPhone accessory. Hold that iPhone accessory. When I then realised that, this iPhone accessory is maybe a bit in demand or whatever, I can then go and resell it. Or I can just go and buy it for cheap somewhere and then go and sell it privately to someone who actually needs it.
Make it rain.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it may have cost me £2.
Yeah.
And I've gone and sold it for £2.50.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be thinking, oh, what's 50p? But that's 50p that you never had.
Yeah.
So it's, how do we train our minds to thinking positively about investments?
Yeah, exactly. And getting people to really understand the importance of it. Like, when people think investments, they think risk. And when you think risk, like, oh, I don't want to take that.
Yeah.
And something that even I've learned over time, I mean, many people know this, but there's this book by Robert Kiyosaki called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Like, so many people have read it, and he will tell you, like, your savings won't save you.
Right, okay.
And it's understanding that, you know, I think a lot of people just do the whole, well, if I go to work and I save enough money, everything's going to be okay, I'll provide for my kids. And while that might be true, at the same time, money doesn't add value. Like, it will depreciate if it just sits in your account.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people won't understand. So rather than just allowing it to sit there, why not put your money to work? And by doing that, like researching and looking into means and ways in which you can invest, and there are so many ways, or so many different types of investments out there that people can actually venture into. And off the top of my head, I can think like property investments, digital investments,
stocks. Stocks and shares. And I know that a lot of people will be wondering, okay, cool, yeah, we're saying all of this, but how do I actually go and invest? Like, where can I actually go and invest? And what I would say, again, before I go into it, I'm going to say this. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial professional, neither are yourself. So this is just general advice. So do not just go and make any radical investment or decisions based on what we have said here.
We're all learning. We're all learning.
Exactly. We're all here for learning purposes, advisory purposes, and we'll keep it at that. But some places that you can actually go into really is, platforms like Trading 212, for instance, like that. If you actually want to invest in specific companies and stuff like that, if you want to invest in that share, and if you want to invest shares in companies and stuff like that, there's a place called Crowdcube, like for instance, like the company that I work for, which is a technology startup called Magway, that a lot of our funding and investments we actually put out to the public to publicly invest in the company, and we do that via a platform called Crowdcube.
Right.
You can literally just go on the website and you'll see a whole list of small companies, tech startup companies that are trying to, come up, and that's a good way to start doing things. I mean, like companies like Bumble, for instance. Bumble went on to Crowdcube. That's where you could actually invest in the company, and at the time, obviously, Bumble was small.
Yeah.
People didn't really take it seriously. Obviously, yes, it's a dating app and stuff like that. People weren't taking it seriously, but look at Bumble today.
Yeah.
Bumble's worth over a couple billion. Couple billion, you know what I'm saying? So, but their share price at the time would have been so small.
Peanuts.
So you would have had the opportunity to buy shares in Bumble for like pennies, you know what I'm saying? But now Bumble's worth over $1 billion, so many millionaires would have been made by now just from that. So that's an area to go to.
And kind of, I think it's also in like talking about different types of investments and where people can go to invest and things like that. It's also talking about like your mindset and how you position yourself to like get to that place. And because a lot of people think that I want money, I want to be rich, or I want to be comfortable, financially free, but I want it to happen ASAP. Because we live in such a microwave society, people expect things to happen instantaneously and don't understand that, especially when things like this, it happens over time. It doesn't happen overnight. And being able to understand these concepts and not rush the process, like even in life, like you don't rush to grow. Like growing up takes time, and so does learning and understanding, and that should reflect in your finances as well, because we don't want unhealthy finances, we want healthy ones. And if people are searching for stability but quick finances at the same time, like those two don't even marry up. Do you know what I mean? Then that's when it becomes a risky business. But I feel like, especially say if you're in your 20s, like when you're young, like I think it's okay to make risks, because that's attached to learning. Like you're learning how you can position yourself financially in the future, especially when you get to your like mid-adulthood, like your 30s and growing up.
It's so good you actually say that, because when you actually look at a lot of people who are successful today, when you actually look to see when did they actually start on their journey, they started on their journey within their 20s, their early 20s, which is why it's crazy. But like when you actually hear, or when I used to hear that, you know what, you should be using your 20s to be making your money, making your bread. So when you hit your 20s and early 30s, make your money, work hard, you know, put your money into investments and stuff like that. So that way, when you start hitting your later 30s, 40s, 50s, you're just enjoying. You're enjoying your money.
Relaxing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is not to say that you can't enjoy your money from young as well. But obviously, have the mentality that you're saving your money too.
Yeah.
Like I always like to look at things from as a percentage split.
Yeah.
You know, that if you're working and you're getting your salary, for instance, like that, you should at least save quarter of your money should just go into savings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when I mean savings, I mean like savings being, that's your safety money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's money that you don't touch. It's emergency money.
Emergency money.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then your necessities, you spend at least maybe, I don't know, 40% or whatever you need to spend on your necessities.
Yeah.
And then the rest of your money, what's left over, invest it. Invest it.
My mentors, it will tell me like, pay yourself 10%.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, smartly divide it. Literally what you said.
Yeah.
Smartly divide it like that. You will have no problems in the future.
Yeah.
But I think everyone kind of thinks whatever I make is mine. I have to use it all. I have to spend it now and then suffer it later.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the point of that? Like, if you want to be comfortable, if you want to be relaxed, why allow yourself to go through so much stress? And I say that like I've gone through that process. Do you get what I mean? And I've had to learn the hard way. And I think it's also important to consider who you have in your circles, who you have around you, like accountability partners, like who are you listening to? Like your net worth is the sum total of your 5 closest friends.
Yeah.
So if all your friends are broke, you're broke. And that might be a hard truth for some people, but it's so true. It's so true. Like, how do you expect to get up there when you're in an environment where all the people around you, they just want to party, spend money, go on holidays, make risky choices, and just throw their money away, when you actually have big plans? You want to settle down, have a family, buy a house, and do all these kind of things. But because you're young, you feel like, no, I have to enjoy my life now. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying your life. Like, you can enjoy your life and also be financially healthy.
Yeah, I think everything is just moderation.
Yeah.
It's just moderation. Don't do too much, you know? And as well, like, if you see that you're a group, like, in your social groups, whatever your group of friends or whatever you're with, you see people are, you know, they're successful, you know what I'm saying, financially, they're doing well and stuff like that. Don't feel intimidated by their success, you know what I'm saying? Because I find, like, I used to do it myself, you know, when I'm around people, you know, and then they're talking about money, you know what I'm saying, I'll get a bit like
uncomfortable.
You know what I'm saying? A bit. I'll start tensing up inside. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, ooh, what are these people about to say?
Yeah.
But then I'm only doing that because I know personally that financially I'm not where I actually want to be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these guys are talking about, for instance, that crypto, but that's, again, as I was mentioning, places where you can invest your money into and stuff like that. Cryptocurrency is booming right now. I think a lot of people have mixed views and opinions on cryptocurrency, but guess what? People are making money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But here's the thing, is about that. I've got a group, like a WhatsApp group with all my friends in there, innit? And like all together, like we're all there together, you know, talking about crypto, but not just crypto in it, but talking about other investments as well that we're also doing. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's got their own agenda as to what they actually want the outcome of their investments to actually be, because we've all got a different type of lifestyle that we're trying to live in. But the thing is, like, we're very open as to how much money we're sort of making and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So when I see, you know, that people are making 10 times what I'm on at the moment now, you know what I'm saying, that I don't really sort of let that phase me too much.
Motivate.
You know what I'm saying? It rather motivates me rather than puts me off in a sense, because then realistically it just shows to me that, you know what, I'm in the right space. Because if my man over here is making that type of bread and I'm also there too, you know what I'm saying, then I'm clearly in the right place. But here's the thing, we're all helping each other. You know what I'm saying? We're all communicating with each other, pushing each other along. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that that's where we sort of need to be. You know?
Accountability partners. You know? Having people that you're not even afraid to have those conversations with. I didn't even realize this before, but if you have friends and you're not even comfortable being open like that with them, then are they truly your friends? Because it's your future, it's our future. It's like, where are we gonna go in from now? Like, it's all right because I believe that we live in this very hyper woke, hypersensitive society nowadays, that when you talk about things, like, you have to be careful because you don't want to hurt people's feelings. But when it's got to do with the security of your future and your future family, so to speak, if you choose to have one, then you can't just be relaxed about it. You can't just expect things to fall in place when they're supposed to happen. Like, people think that, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Like, I'm chill about it, but it's just no one's gonna do the work for you.
It's like, do you think the richest people in the world got there just with the mentality that, what happened? No, bro. Like, no, it don't work like that. These people are out here working. These people saw that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they saw that, okay, I can't just, live off 9 till 5 and then expect when I get older and it comes to retirement, all I've got is my pension.
Exactly.
Bro, like, what are you doing?
No way.
What are you doing? Like, you actually need to have something going. Like, even if you're a person that is thinking about, you're having handing down wealth to your children. You understand? You want to build like some sort of dynasty. Like, you have the Rothschild family, the Rockefellers. You know what I'm saying? All them people. You know what I'm saying? All these people, they got dynasties. A group of them worked, earned their bread, invested it, you know what I'm saying? Found out other ways as to what more assets can they actually get for themselves that's going to make them more money and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They're doing something. You know what I'm saying? They're making their money compound, a compounding effect. Bam, 100 turns into 200, turns into 400, turns into 800, you know what I'm saying? It's going. You know what I'm saying? It's doubling all the time. So it's like, we also need to think about that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about.
And I think ultimately ensuring that we are in the right frame of mind to be able to have these difficult conversations. I know we spoke about earlier, you were saying how, your parents had asked you, like, do you have a savings account? Like, that's a form of accountability. And not you when you kind of lie to people and like, but really you don't. It's like, you're not doing them a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice. That's something I had to learn the hard way. Like, when shit hit the fan, I was just like, I have to stop lying to myself. I have to take these things seriously. Like, there's nothing wrong in spending a bit of time budgeting, using a budgeting sheet, or just thinking about what the next couple of months are going to look like. Nobody's saying that we have to be like the Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates of the earth. We're just saying that if you want a financially secure life, you need to make those financially intelligent decisions now. And that doesn't take much. And I hope for everybody that they take this on, do you know what I mean? Like, what world do we want to live in if we're not being accountable for our actions?
Exactly.